Hey, have you ever gotten really excited about a video light and you thought it was going to be used all the time, only to find it gathering dust in your garage? Yeah, me too. Well, in this video, I'm going to try to convince you to buy the Aputure MT Pro tube light, and I'm going to show you how useful this is and why it's never going to end up in your garage. I'm taking a stand. None of this, well, if it's right for you kind of crap. Well, if you're a filmmaker, you need this light. And at the end of this video, I'm going to double down by telling you the other light that you really need to go with this. Now, feel free to disagree with me. This is America after all. Or maybe you're Canadian. Oh, either way, hear me out. This is my Swiss Army knife, and I carry it with me all the time. Except at the airport, of course. But I use it pretty much every day, and it does a lot of little things. It has a little place here, it goes on my keys. It has a bottle opener, a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, nail file, scissors, tweezers, and a toothpick. Oh, and there's also a knife. Now I want you to think of the MT Pro as a Swiss Army light. It can do a lot of useful things on set, and it also fits in your pocket. Okay, it doesn't fit in your pocket, but it's small. You get the idea. There are 6 areas where the MT Pro excels. First, this one little tube light is RGBWW, and it can create over 90% of the Rec 2020 color space. I don't actually know what that means, but that's a lot of colors. And it has a wide temperature of whites from 2000 Kelvin all the way to 10,000 Kelvin. And I do know what that means. That means it can go from very, very warm to very, very cold. So when your scene needs a splash of light, the MT Pro has you covered. And it can make whatever color you want, except brown. It can't do brown because it casts light, not pigment. But no light can do that, so let's just move on to the next one. Next, the MT Pro works as a great practical light. And a practical light is any light that's actually in the shot. And with these little magnets on the back, we can just mount it pretty much anywhere and it looks like it fits into the scene. You can even put the MT Pro in a lamp and make it look like it is a bulb. Now the Aputure B7c is cheaper and better for this, more on this guy later, but in a pinch, you got it. Third, the MT Pro has 36 pixels. That's the tightest pixel density in the industry. This means that you don't see the individual pixels when the light is dimmed down. And this is a big deal when the light is on screen. I actually discussed this in another video I made about the Amaranth tube lights. You can check that when you're done here, but don't go there now. Just stick with me. Fourth, the MT Pro's pixels can be controlled separately, and this allows for some really cool new effects called pixel effects, like this new fire effect that goes up and down rather than just pulsing like the old MC light. And so when we compare the two, well, here's the MT Pro. Yeah, kind of looks like fire. While the MC, well, it kind of looks like fire too. Okay, this is not the reason to buy the MT Pro, because if this is your only reason, this is going to end up in your garage. Fifth, the MT Pro is light and easy to mount. It has 2 1/4-20 mounts, one here and one on the end, and it comes in this really great case that also comes with this tripod. But the greatest thing is this little egg crate accessory that goes right over the MT Pro, and this allows you to control the light and you still have access to the 1/4-20 mounts. But in addition to that, you also have these 2 powerful magnets. So this little metal piece that I picked up at Home Depot for under $1 is the exact size of the MT Pro and fits perfectly. And then all you have to do is gaff tape this to whatever you want and then you're there. Fantastic. So you can pick up this little accessory for $1 at Home Depot or on my website for 80 bucks. Your choice. And now for the 6th, and probably the biggest reason so far, the MT Pro can actually be used as a light in your scene, to light a person. Let me give you an example. Here is the MT Pro as a hair light, and I think it looks great. Let's bring it up a little brighter. It can go actually really bright, or we can bring it down to taste. I don't know of any other light that is this small, rigs up so easy, and works this great. Okay, so now I've moved the MT Pro to just above the camera, and I've got another hair light over here. And so now let's just look to see what it does. This is it without the fill light, and this is with it added. And I can reduce that to taste, or I can bring it way up if I need to. So that's looking pretty good to me there. And so this works really, really good to just sort of pop in that little bit of light when you need it. Now, you might have been trained that the fill light should be over in this area over here, but I have found that if we put the fill light just a little bit of the camera, you don't introduce additional shadows. Now, before I tell you the final reason why you should buy this light, I need to let you know that this light does cost $200. So if there was a downside to this light, it would be that there are a lot of cheaper alternatives out there. So for example, there's this light from Obeamiu. It is a C10 RGB light stick wand. It has an RGB light in it. It's actually a little longer than the MT Pro, and the battery lasts a bit longer as well. Now, you can see when I tested the battery that it's not quite as bright, but what's worse than that is that the whites aren't really white. You see, this light is using RGB to make the white light. It's not RGBWW. I believe it's just RGB. And so it's coming close to white, but it really can't do the job of the MT Pro. Now, hey, if you just want a light to stick up in the back and add a little accent or whatever, that's great. But if you want a light that can do it all, this is not your light. And I can tell you right now that if I don't return this quickly to Amazon, it's going to be in my garage for years to come. This is a knife I picked up at the dollar store for $1.25. I don't know why I keep calling it the dollar store. Phillips screwdriver, a corkscrew, looks like a file, a bottle opener, but I can't get back in, a knife blade that also won't go back in, and then I have there we go, and another bottle opener. Okay, so if you can't see the irony in this, I can't help you. But now for my final argument for this light. Besides having a wide color range and great pixel density and great quality of light, and aside from blending in so well as a practical light or working as a great hair light or fill light or catch light, this light plays very well with other Aputure and Amaranth lights. Now, at the beginning of the video, I promised you that I would tell you about another light that all MT Pro users need, and that's this light, the Aputure B7c. It is the perfect companion for this little tube light. Why? Because it basically has the same quality of light, and you can dial in that same light to both the tube and to this light here. Okay, so why does this matter? Well, I can put an Aputure B7c in this lamp over here, turn it on, and then I can just dial it in to how bright or how dim that I want it. And I can also pick the color temperature that I want the lamp to be. And then I can match that color temperature to the hair light and put it right here. And so the hair light is going to look as if it's coming from this lamp, even though, of course, it is not. Together, these two lights are better than either one of them is separate. The blade on this little knife is pretty small and not good for much more than opening your Amazon packages. Sometimes you need a bigger knife, and in your lighting kit you're going to need a bigger light as well. And if you want to know what I think that should be, well, just click on the next video.